young child standing at the back door when my daddy had to leave at 11 o'clock at night and sign in by 12 o'clock. I'd stand at the back door and watch him as far as I could see him go down the road until his taillights disappeared. I'd ask God to keep him safe and bring him back home. And he did for many, many years. My father did not die in the line of duty death, but he died from residual effects of his service, from heart disease and from diabetes at the age of 56. My brother-in-law, who is listed on the wall behind me, Walt Floyd, joined law enforcement in the mid-80s. Many of you knew Walt, many of you worked with him, and you knew he was a person with a good sense of character and a person with a strong work ethic. He worked down here for many years, and his last role and position was as investigator with the Clarendon County Sheriff's Department until March of 2002, 2 weeks before his 45th birthday. We got a call on a Friday afternoon that Walt had been in an accident, but that's about all we were told. My husband had the flu at the time, and we just got back from the doctor, and I was on my way to CVS to get some prescriptions filled for him. And while I was still waiting on those prescriptions, my husband had come to Manning to the hospital here and learned that Walt was gone. And then in 2010, my baby brother, Colonel Kevin Cusack with the State Highway Patrol, joined the patrol in '89, the same year my father passed, stationed in York County for over 20 years, and it just transferred over to Lancaster County for about a year. He liked it over there. He said there was less people, so that meant less problems than what he'd been dealing with in York County. And he found good people over there to work with. He called me on a Friday night, March 26th, about 9 o'clock, and we had a nice talk, and we made plans for the next weekend. It was Easter, and he was going to be coming home, and we had our plots laid out for what we were going to do and who we were going to see. And I went to bed that Friday night, and the next time my phone rang, it was a call letting me know that he too was gone. For those of us who've been through this experience, many have described it as I felt it. That you could still look up and see the world was still turning. Things were still going on, and the sun was still shining, and the wind was still blowing, but for some reason it was like you were standing apart and separated from it. And you have to find some way to cope with that, and you have to find some way to take on life again and stuff too, and begin living again. In and of ourselves, I do not believe that is possible. But God in His infinite wisdom makes a way for everything. He sent many people to help us, and He sent one organization of people to help us, and that was the COPS program. For us, it came in the face of Miss Beverly Coates. Miss Beverly, would you stand for just a minute, please, for those who don't know you? Miss Lois Rayo, who's standing up here with me. And Mr. Saul Rayo. Is Mr. Saul here yet? He's on the way. So that was the face of the COPS program for me and my family.